Hey everyone, I'm in FIFA 22. Here I'm going to show you how to play career mode player. So from the root menu, click play. And then when you're in this area, you want to go over to career, or it might say continue career if you've done some sort of career work before, and then go up to new career. When you've done that, press A. And then it'll say whether there's a latest squad or not, so you can use the latest squads or current squads or initial squads, whatever you prefer. And then pick a player career mode. So that's the one we're going to jump into. From here you can choose a real player or create your pro. Personally, I quite like creating your pro because you can create a player from, your imagination really. So we'll do that and then develop them into a famous player. So I think that's quite good fun. Don't even know what that means. It doesn't seem to do anything whether I hit yes or no. But here you've got like some sort of root start people you can use. So for example, let's go for this guy. And then we can go through all these different things with RB, LB and change things like the hairstyle, the head, the height, position and all that sort of stuff. So for example there, the one thing I do want to point out, I have a full tutorial on this, but it's this commentary name. So if the last name is a reasonably well-known name, you can click on this and then go find so in this case it said Wright was the auto-generated one, but you can call it whatever you like. But if we go to W like this, and then we can use RB to go page down, and if we go all the way down to right, there it is. What that means is when the commentator is talking about the team, he will say right as you're on the ball, so it makes it a bit more immersive, a bit more interesting. But everything else you can fill in yourself. Of course, you can put your own name in here or whatever name you want, kit number, all of that sort of stuff. So it's quite cool. Anyway, once you've done that, you advance into this area, and this is where you pick what team you want to play with. Again, what I think is fun is to go with a smaller team initially and try and build your way up into a bigger team. So rather than just start playing for Liverpool, you might want to start in League One or League Two. And pick a team to go with. So for example, pretty local to me is MK Dons. And that's going to be a little more forgiving. You can see that I'm going to be the striker because that's what I was set up to be here. If I go in this particular one, or Morecambe, for example, have two strikers up front, but I'd be a lone striker here with a left wing and a right wing. So I'll go call and then start that. You can also change the match difficulty, half length, what the currency would be. So if I'm in the UK, it's going to make more sense to have sterling for that. So I can change that. This is to do with like the club and player strictness to negotiate transfers loose, means it's going to be easier to transfer around. So I'd leave that as it is. You can have the first summer transfer window enabled or not. You can have European competitions on, whatever you want, and then advance when you're ready. And then you're going to be into the section where you can start playing the game in player career mode. Now, what's quite cool about this is it's a bit of a mix. It's fairly flexible, but obviously your objective is to develop your player. So you choose a save area for it. And you also choose your attributes. So these are things that will unlock as you level up. So we've got 7 skill points initially available, and these are ways of developing your player in a particular way. So if you're a striker, for example, if I go over to shooting, so I'm going between these with LBRB, and then moving here with the left stick to go over to these different things. So for example, this one would cost 1 skill point and would improve my finishing by 3. So that sounds like a good plan, doesn't it? This one would improve my volleys, so again by 3, so I could pump that in there. But the next one would also give quite a boost, volleys by 4. But I might be interested in improving my penalties, or I could say, do you know what, I need some help with my passing, so I could do with short passing, so I can improve that. So I could say short pass, bump that up by 3. Might be interested in pace, so I could say my sprint speed, I want that up a bit. Acceleration up a bit. So I've got 2 points left. We could look at, for example, physical. Strength, we could make us a little bit stronger and improve our stamina as well. So you can see we've hit all those different stats and improved them with all of these things. If you get it wrong, you can hit Y to reset all the allocations, but I'm going to hit done. And you can see my player overall now is rated 70 up the top right, and he's sitting at level 1 with 3,252 XP to go to level 2. The last thing we need to set up is perks. So more perks will unlock over time. but you can pick any one of these perks and this will automatically kick in when you do something that makes it work. So if you can see, this one will boost passing attributes for a short time, 15 minutes, after assisting a goal, and grants the player the swerve pass trait. So we'll chuck that in, for example, and then when we're good we hit B to exit. So we are now in the main area for player career mode, and you can see we've got advance, which is to advance the timeline. So you can see on Sunday we've got a friendly against another team. We've also got, so if I hit this, the time would then advance. So I've got several days till that game. So I don't want to do that quite yet because I want to look at the other things. So you've got your player growth here. So up the top right of that, it shows whether you've got any skill points to allocate, which I haven't because we've done those. But it gives me a good overview of how my player is developing at the minute. So you can see good pace, reasonable shooting, everything else needs a bit of work really. I've also got my archetypes there. So you can see that the next perk will be unlocked at level 9, that one after that at level 19. You can see the standings of your team that you're playing for here. And then this is a bit of news on the right hand side, so you can see I'll flick between current news. So one news there is Riot takes the next step at MK Dons, and then you see things about what else is going on in the big wide world. Now, down here, an important aspect of player career mode is training. So you can earn XP and boost manager rating by doing your training. So we'll just jump into this now and I'll talk a bit about this. So you have the ability to do 3 drills every few days, and you're free to add whichever drills you want. So the first one, if we hit the A button, you can go between these. So they're split between dribbling, defending, passing, shooting, set pieces, and you can go with whatever ones you want, but you can see they're going to earn you XP, so whatever ones you want to have a little go at. You also get a play bonus if you play this, and a first time bonus for the first time you play a particular skill game. So it encourages you to sort of try out different skill games as you go on, so this keeps it interesting. So we could go with a one-on-one against the keeper, for example. We could go with a dribbling one, so path to goal, and we could go with a third one, and we could go with, I don't know, passing, so we'll go with middleman pass, for example. So if you want to practice these outside of career mode, you can do that in the skill games area of FIFA 22, but here's another way to practice them. So you can see here, each of these is going to get me XP. So if I did all 3, I could potentially get 3,200 if I'd done them top. That would almost level me up to the next level. I'm not going to do that though, because that's going to be a bit boring. So I'll do one of them just to give you an example. So we'll do this. So with each one, you can either play it or simulate it. So I'll just do this as play, and then you'll get an idea of what we do. So this particular one is just shoot against the keeper. Rubbish. Let's try again. There you go. That was a bit better. And you're free to mess around with the sort of skills as you see fit, and just try and come up with some nice shots. The better you do, obviously, in this case, hitting the top left or top right is going to give me a better score against the keeper, if I can, but it doesn't really matter if I don't. So you can see I've done fine here, so I've got outstanding performance, so that's going to give me a good score. So you can see A rated. So if you remember, I was going to get more XP for doing better in the drill. So you can see here I've got C results, and you can see I've earned a whopping 1600 XP because the manager was also very happy with that. So you can see drill result A, best grade A, total experience 1600 XP from that. The next one, it says potential experience 1000 XP, but if I did really good, that's going to go good as well. Just for a difference here, I'm going to show you what happens if we simulate that drill. So if you can't be bothered to do the drill, you won't get as good a score, but you will get some score. So if we say simulate, you can see I got 200 XP for doing rubbish, quite frankly. And you can't go back to it. So if you decide to do that, you're just going to get a bit of rubbish XP. So the last one, again, if we did it, we're going to get 200 XP, or we could try and improve that by doing it ourselves. So you can also see that you lose the play bonus and the first play bonus if you do that. So it encourages you to play it. But just for time reasons, I'm going to just skip that again. So you can see I only got where I could have potentially got maybe 3,500 XP. I sacrificed a lot of that for the speed of this tutorial. So we'll advance that. So it then says you've done your training, days remaining. It says all sessions completed, so we're all good there. Just before we advance things though, I'll show you my pro. Here's the ability to edit your pro. There's a few things you can do. You can see the stats about the pro, but you can also jump in and edit minor things about them, such as their squad number. So you can do that there just by jumping in. Just hit cancel there. So you can see I can change my commentary name, the kit name, and also the number there, but these other things I can't really change. Well, I could change possibly position, but I don't really want to do that, and change some things like the face and stuff like that. I don't want to save my things because I'm quite happy there, but they're just showing you can do some things. There's no notifications, but over time you may see messages from your manager and stuff like that. The squad hub just gives you a little idea about the potential squad here. So it says potential to be special, overall 70. You can see morale, your fitness, that sort of stuff. You can also see stats here over time and attributes as well. So that works quite well. You can also edit players here. You can see your career summary, also your actions to control your career. So what we could do if we wanted is request a loan or retire. So we don't want to do any of those at the minute. That's all good. And once we get skill points, we can also allocate them here. So when we get to level 2, that would all be good there. So when you're ready to progress to actually playing a game, you progress with this advanced button here. So this will increase the simulation, and you can see the days will start going here. You can stop it by pressing A again, and then we're at this point here where we've got European International Cup against Brunswick or whatever their name is. So this is going to be our first game. So the manager may or may not put us on straight away. He may just want to see how we go. So we'll hit A to see what happens. So you can either then play as just your player, which I think is good fun, or you can play controlling the entire team. You can also jump to the result if you want, and also customize things as well. So I'm going to show you just playing as the main player themselves. And I'm not, depending on how this goes, we may or may not play the whole thing. So I would think we'll come on as a sub, as indeed we have. So there we are on the sub side thing here. So this is typically how things will start in the career. You'll then see your match objectives. So you've got get a match rating of at least 6.5, get a conversion rate of at least 50%. I could enhance the target if I want to get more XP and complete 7 passes, but I'm just going to go with as it is. So depending on what you do, we'll debate on whether you want to enhance those to get possible more objectives completed. So we're now, you can see I'm controlling my player, and my job is to try and think about staying in a good position as a striker, as opposed to working all through the team. And I also need to look down the bottom right at my stamina, so not too many sprints, but try and think about where would be a good position, release the ball well. So if you see up the top right, you'll get sort of comments about how good you play there. So go on, fast. You're so close. I didn't quite hit it right, but that's what I'm thinking about, is trying to do well for the team. So again, there I'm just trying to think of where will make sense for me to be, to try and help the team. So I can try and dribble past. If I mess up like there, I'm obviously going to get hit, a bit for being cheeky on the ball. Oh, go on. Oh, have we got a free kick? No, didn't look like it. So we'll try and get the ball back. So when we first start out, our stats are going to be a little bit weak. So maybe my stamina is not as good as I would like it. So I may need to want to limit my sprints and things like that. But being in this sort of lower league team is going to help. Just dirty fouling pest. So we get a card there. Should help me sort of settle into the game and hopefully do a bit better than if I went straight up to... Whoops, I shouldn't have moved there. I did think he was going to bop the ball to me. let's see what we can do. It'll be cool to try and get a goal if we can. That would make a nice tutorial, wouldn't it? What are they doing? They seem to be stuck. Come on, pass me the ball. So, yeah, it's obviously hard to talk and play at the same time. So that little arrow that you're seeing is sort of trying to help me stay in position where I should be. Oh, that was nice. Yes! So we got a goal. So you can see my rating will now go up. So we got a goal, and that's going to help the team, obviously. But it's also going to increase my rating as a striker, because that's one of the prime things, is obviously I've got to score goals. And yeah, just try and think about the positioning so we can see a little replay of the goal. That was nice. So that's going to keep the manager happy. And will increase, it's going to mean I'm going to earn more XP because I had a good game, and improve my rating with the manager over time as well. So again, just keep an eye on that sort of arrow. So this is suggesting I should stay a little bit forwards, but this isn't too difficult to do. So trying to think about like a free ball there, just to try and improve with the passing. What did he do there? Did he just knock it out? It looked like it, didn't it? So that's where I suppose controlling the entire team might be good, because you could try and encourage the team to pass more to you. But I do think it's easier to think about your positioning if you're just controlling your character. And I think it's sort of like a different play style for FIFA 22. I think it's quite nice to just focus on one player for a bit of difference. At least we got a goal. So you can see, so it's moaning about my position in there. So it's saying get over there. So follow that arrow. Let's go. There we go. So he's happy with me there for some reason. I don't know why. So if you can behave with your positioning, that'll keep the manager happy as well. I'm still suggesting I should be up here. Okay, we've got a few more minutes. Come on, we need. Oh, that was a nice pass. So I'm now going to try and run up into the better position. Oh, you see, I give him a nice pass. He still missed. I should have dribbled myself there, shouldn't I? Lovely pass. How did he not score from there? Dear me. But you get the idea. So it's not all just about scoring goals. You can improve your rating just by doing different things in the game, and obviously tackling. If I could get in a few tackles as well, would be good. But hopefully we're near the end. But what I want to show you as well, just to finish off, is as you level up, what you can do as well with the skill points. So that wasn't quite good, that ball, was it? So we're nearly at the end of the game, but at least we got a goal. In this mode. And then we'll have a little look at how our stats change as well, just as this finishes up. So it's moaning about my position again. So we'll just track back a little bit just to try and help out. I would think time will go in a minute. There we go. Full time. So not an amazing game from me there, but obviously we're only on as a sub and we did score, and that obviously won the game. So that's good. So we'll see a little clip of our player, which is nice. And then we can just skip that and go through. So we'll see the highlights of the game. So we could see the goal. And then when you're here, you can then advance the match. If you do want, you can restart the match. If you weren't happy with your performance, that's also a possibility as well. So all sorts of stuff there. But 1-0, that will progress us. So then we get our manager rating. So you can see we've got 2,000 XP from playing that game, which has leveled me up to level 2. I've got 3 skill points. I've also got distance shooter perk unlocked. The manager was quite happy with that as well. So you can see it looks like he's still rating me as a sub, but he's getting more pleased with what I've done. So we can advance there, or I can jump straight into player growth and develop my character a bit more. So we've got the growth there, so we can see our performance in the match. So shot conversion, key passes. We've got 5 successful short passes, 4 successful long passes. That all helps with the experience. And there's our objectives, so we can see there's our original objectives: match rate, shot conversion, completed passes. We're all good. So I'll jump into our attributes here, so you can see it's saying I've got 2 physical attributes that I can unlock, or 1 on passing, all of these here. So I can jump into these. We can start thinking about where we want to develop the player further. So you can see I've got some in stamina, but I might go, you know what, I'm going to improve my stamina a little bit, make sure I'm a little less likely to be tired. On the shooting, I could say I'm quite interested in long shots, so we could pop that one up as well. And then I've got 1 skill point left, so maybe I'll go with sprint speed and make myself even faster. And then I'm done there. So I've leveled up the character to there. So we can see I'm still rated 71 overall, but that's all good. And then the other thing was there was that new perk, so I could go into perks, and there's my new perk, so I could override it. So I could say actually distance shooter sounds good. So it says boost pass and attributes after assisting a goal. Grants, sorry, that's not that one. Increases your accuracy and power from long distance shots, grants you the finesse shot and outside foot shot traits, and 5-star weak foot ability. So that sounds quite cool. So we will have that. And then we will exit out, and hopefully that gives you an idea of what you've got to do. So each time you do a new one, you finished a game, you'll get an update. So this says I scored my first goal for the season. We can do our training again. We've got 3 sessions available in the next 6 days. We can see how the player is developing, and if we go into the My Pro area, and we've also got notifications. So manager, it says welcome to the club. Pleased you joined us. Hope you have a good, successful skill, blah, 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 and place. Do that. You need to train every week, work to develop your skills. I recommend you look at each of the match objectives I set you for your involvement in each of the games. So that's how you progress it. And that's it, really. I think that's enough for you to, play this mode successfully. If I've missed anything, do let me know and I'll add some stuff. But it's good fun mode. It's quite fun to get signed for other teams and getting good goal ratings and all that sort of stuff. So if it was good, give us a thumbs up, please. That's much appreciated. Any comments welcome. If you like this sort of stuff, have a little look at the rest of my channel. I've got all sorts of videos on FIFA 22 and many other games, but I'm starting to look at player career, so I thought this would be a good one to help you see how to do this. Thanks so much for watching.